So we are going to look at the mammalian heart, and the mammalian heart is a complex, thick muscle that pumps blood through the three circuits of the circulatory system, and the three circuits: the systemic, coronary, and the pulmonary circuit. The heart is found at the central compartment of the thoracic cavity, and its apex is angled down to the left on top of the diaphragm. So when you look at the structure of the heart, we see that the heart is asymmetrical due to the difference in the thickness of the walls in both sides. So we find that the left side is thicker than the right side. This is because the left side has to pump blood to over a very long distance to all parts of the body. The heart has four chambers: an atrium and a ventricle on the right side, an atrium and a ventricle on the left side. And also there are valves in the heart that prevent the backflow of the blood. And these valves are the tricuspid valves, the bicuspid valves, the semilunar valves, and the atrioventricular valves. The heart has three layers: the endocardium, myocardium, and the epicardium. The epicardium has a secondary layer called the pericardium that is double layered. The double layer forms a cavity where the pericardial fluid is found, which its function is to act as a shock absorber and also lubricate and reduce friction during vigorous pump. Now, to the blood vessels, we have the arteries, the veins, the venules, and the capillaries. In the structure of the blood vessels, we have three layers: that is the tunica intima, and the tunica media that contains smooth muscles and elastic fibers, and tunica adventitia that contains the collagen, which are connective tissue. Arteries have thick elastic walls in the tunica media, while the veins have thin inelastic walls. So the capillaries and the venules, these are blood vessels that work at cellular level. They are direct in contact with the cells. So the blood vessels also are tissues that need nourishment. So they are always supplied with blood using the vessels called vasa vasorum.
Blood components. Blood is a vital fluid in the human body, playing essential roles in maintaining homeostasis, transporting nutrients and gases, and providing immunity. The main components can be categorized into two: liquid components and cellular components. Plasma is the liquid portion of blood, making up to about 55% of its total volume. It is a pale yellow fluid that serves as a medium for transporting various substances. Composition of plasma. Water, it comprises of 90 to 92% of plasma. It serves as the solvents for carrying other components. Proteins. Plasma contains several types of proteins such as albumin, which maintains osmotic pressure. Globulins play roles in immune function. Fibrinogen, a key protein involved in blood clotting. Electrolytes, which maintain pH balance. Hormones, waste products such as urea. Cellular components. Number one is red blood cells, also known as erythrocytes. They are the most abundant in blood, accounting for 40 to 45%. Functions include oxygen transport via hemoglobin and carbon dioxide transport back to the lungs. Characteristics include bioconcave shape, they lack a nuclei and organelles, and a lifespan of about 120 days. White blood cells, also known as leukocytes, they are a part of the immune system and help defend the body against infections. They make up less than 1% of the blood volume. Types of white blood cells include neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and basophils. Functions of the white blood cells are immune response, activation and regulation, phagocytosis of pathogens and debris. Platelets, these are small cell fragments derived from megakaryocytes in the bone marrow. They play a crucial role in process of blood clotting. Functions include clot formation at injury sites and wound healing, where they release growth factors that aid in tissue repair.
Mechanism of the heart. Blood flow. Deoxygenated blood flow from the body enters into the right atrium via the superior and inferior vena cava. The right atrium contracts, pushing blood into the right ventricle via the tricuspid valves. The right ventricle pumps the deoxygenated blood to the lungs through the pulmonary artery for oxygenation through the pulmonary valve. Oxygenated blood returns from the lungs to the left atrium via the pulmonary vein. The left atrium contracts, sending blood into the left ventricle via mitral valves. The left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood into the aorta, which distributes it through the body via the aortic valves or the semilunar valves. Impulse transmission of the heart. The heart rhythm is controlled by an electric conduction system. The sinoatrial node, located in the right atrium, acts as the natural pacemaker, initiating electrical impulses. These impulses causes the atria to contract, pushing blood into the ventricles. The impulses then travel to the atrioventricular node, which delays the signal slightly before passing it to the ventricles. The signal moves through the bundles of tissues called Purkinje fibers, causing the ventricle to contract and pump blood out of the heart. The heartbeat sound. The familiar lap and dap sound of the heartbeat are caused by the closure of heart valves. Lap, closure of the atrioventricular valves, that is tricuspid and mitral valves, at the beginning of the ventricular contraction. Dap is the closure of the semilunar valves or the aortic and pulmonary at the end of the ventricular contraction.
The first function is the transport of various substances in the body of living organisms. We have transport of oxygen, where oxygen is transported from the lungs to the body tissues and cells, which is a crucial process for cellular respiration and energy production. Transportation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, which is a waste of cellular respiration, is transported from the tissues back to the lungs for exhalation. The transport of nutrients also occurs in the is also facilitated by the circulatory system, whereby nutrients which are absorbed from the digestive system are transported to all parts of the body, providing the building blocks and energy sources for cellular functions. In the transport of waste metabolites in the circulatory system, we have carbon dioxide, which is produced from cellular respiration, urea from protein breakdown, and lactic acid from anaerobic respiration. Blood carries the various wastes to specific organs for excretion, where carbon dioxide is transported to lungs for exhalation, urea is transported to kidneys for filtration and elimination in urine, and lactic acid is transported to liver for processing. Circulatory system helps us in the distribution of hormones produced by endocrine glands, whereby they are distributed throughout the body to reach target cells and initiate specific physiological responses. Circulatory system also helps us in the distribution of immune cells by distributing white blood cells to sites of infection, enabling the body to fight against pathogens. Circulatory system provides transmission force by providing the pressure which is generated by the heart's pumping action, which helps to drive the movement of blood and its contents throughout the body.
Coronary artery diseases is caused by the risk factors like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and smoking. Symptoms of coronary artery disease include chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, and heart attack. Treatment, lifestyle changes, and prevention, health, diet, regular exercise. Heart attack. Heart attack is caused by coronary artery diseases. It also results from severe spasm of a coronary artery. Symptoms, it include chest discomfort, pain in arms, back, neck, and jaws. Prevention, a healthy diet and regular exercise. Heart failure. Causes of the heart failure are high blood pressure, previous heart attack. Symptoms, fatigue, shortness of breath, and prevention is managing risk factors like hypertension and diabetes. Hypertension, it is caused by obesity, high salt intake, and lack of physical activities. Symptoms, headaches or nosebleeds in severe cases. Prevention, maintaining a healthy weight and diet, regular exercise. Stroke is a medical emergency. And we have two types of stroke: ischemic stroke, hemorrhagic stroke. Symptoms: sudden weakness, especially in one side, trouble in speaking, numbness of the face. Other diseases that are related to the circulatory system include peripheral artery diseases, deep vein thrombosis, varicose vein.